What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, kings and queens, and everything in between? Today we are going to talk about exactly what happened here in AMC and GME world. Right now, GME is currently on a midway of the rip that we are seeing for 45% up on the day. That's right. It got to a high of 177 after hitting a low of 116 right as market open, and it never has looked back. One of the most important points right now as we start to talk about this analysis, we're going to be doing it in reverse here. It is now testing between 167 and 171, just peaked below those two levels of resistance where it has been trading, bouncing back and forth, getting more momentum, learning, consolidating, and feeling the waters of how the current bears and bulls are duking it out right now. One of the things that we want to point at in terms of indicators that you should look at is the contract option chain, and so that's one of the things I'm going to pull right here. We have this massive ramp downward here with a lot of people bearish and buying $3 million worth of $90 strike prices for GME. However, right now it's all blue going up to the call options. Right here we see 150 was the battlegrounds. That was where we saw a massive put wall yesterday. This is now all but receded and given us the upper hand right here at $2 million of call options at 150. We are not even close, so that is going to be a fine support as we move into the later parts of power hour. More importantly is the ramp upward. So we see a gamma ramp here at a strike price of 175. There's $1 million. There's another $1 million at 180, and there's another roughly $1 million coming in. If you add it all together, that is $3 million leading up to $200 where there's some battlegrounds there. Roughly 2-to-1 ratio, we have calls outweighing the puts at 2 million calls to roughly less than $1 million in puts. So there's some battling at $200 where we are hoping to continue on the trajectory that we already saw today. I built two channels here to test exactly where the trajectory of that stock is going. Right now we see that it is bearishly peeking its head outside of that channel, but this is the ascending level of resistance and support that we are tracking here. Beginning at a breakout at 154, that was where it finished its consolidation and its corrective wave after that major rip in the morning, and we saw another channel open up here, a major green candle that brought it from 150 to 167. That is exactly where it was continued to trade sideways for a good amount of time, and now is the first part of it dipping below and seeming like it needs to be supported at a channel later on in the future. This sideways trading was following a consolidation after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 part impulse wave, moving us up from 120 all the way up to 180. That is a 50% rise from just one single impulse wave, right? And we are not seeing anything akin to a corrective wave so far. One of the main things to note is that now we are trading far and above the VWAP. However, it is being raised up. That's something that you'll notice when there is manipulation on the markets. We do not see that VWAP or the OBV react accordingly, and right now we are seeing them rise as if this is natural good growth. So right now we are focusing on two different predictions moving forward. We could continue on this channel bouncing back and forth between 166 and 171. That is going to wedge us either forward onto 180, which is the next level of resistance, or it's going to be able to bounce us downward and get us supported at 155, of which, as we can see, there is going to be a large call option wall here. So we are going to be supported at 150, and that is currently the landscape for GME. For AMC, on the other hand, let's work backwards as well. I also have written down this trend line there of looking at the kind of trajectory that we would have seen if we continued on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 step impulse wave, bringing AMC all the way up from $9 to a $11. Now that is not up to the 50% rise that GME was on, but however, GME falls harder on days that the market is red, but when both AMC and GME run in tandem, you'll always normally see that AMC is roughly about 50 to 30% of the intensity. That's also reflected in the beta for AMC and GME as well, how they react to the market and how they react to each other. The most important thing to note about AMC's trajectory is that it has broken out of this upward channel, ascending channel here, and now it has been trading sideways between 1036 and 1116 for a good amount of time. The one test of 1116 here was met with a swift corrective wave right here, where it is currently petering out at the bottom. So one of the things that we want to note for AMC is also the options chain here. So let me change what we have to look at here for AMC now. On AMC side, you'll notice that there is a completely different story. Instead of a large call option wall protecting it from dipping below $9 and change, we actually see barely anything in terms of options down below $8. So right now it is trading at $10.50. We have this strong $10 strike price with $1 million of calls and $600,000 of puts. So this is also a 2-to-1 ratio of the amount of bullish expectations for AMC compared to bearish. However, this does start to deteriorate as we move downwards from $9.50 to $9. One of the things to look forward to is at $12, AMC is going to have almost pure call action here. This is a small ramp with not a lot of snow on the ground. If you guys remember that snowball analogy, we need to see more calls moving forward in order to have a potential gamma squeeze. But right now, this is one of the most important indicators to keep yourself in mind. So once more, we are looking at AMC focusing on double digits, 20% rise roughly. However, it is at the tail end of a corrective wave. Some of you might notice that there is a head and shoulders pattern approaching here. This is normally something that we want to be able to write off as a minor bearish signal. However, if it does get supported here at the $10.30 range, right above the VWAP, this is something that AMC will likely be able to recover from for the rest of the day. So right now we are noticing that GameStop has a hard floor at 150. It is already bouncing off as we speak from 159. So this is something that is going to likely continue between these two levels of resistance and support for the day. So if you guys continue watching and want to support the show, the best way is to help those guys right there trying to get up to 72,000 subscribers, as well as investing in yourself by pressing the subscribe button and the bell button. The other way to support the show is by checking out the join button next to the subscribe button, right? Each of these people have either pressed the join button or gone down into the description and found the Patreon link and supported me there.